Hey guys, a very good afternoon to all of you. Welcome to the session on 7 months to CAT and the strategy that you need to employ for the next 7 months to make sure that your dream college score is within your reach. So today guys, we're going to talk about one of the sections, which is the quant part. So we're going to talk about the quant strategy. What should you do over the next 7 months? And for you to understand the strategy, we'll also have to understand what is it that actually happened over the last few years in CAT. So if you understand if you understood what has happened, then you'll be in a better position to understand why we recommend a particular strategy. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at what is happening, or rather what has happened, or what is expected to happen in the first slide. First, the notification for CAT we are expecting to be out in the month of July 2023, somewhere in the end of the week. And we know for sure that the CAT will be conducted on November 26th. In fact, I'll ask my tech team to move me to the bit of right side because I'm blocking the screen, I believe. So we will, the exam this year is going to be on the 26th of November. Now, how are we saying that the notification is not yet out? Simply because every year, and this is true for the last almost 15-20 years that I can remember, CAT has conducted its exam on the last Sunday of November. They don't change this. So whether they inform us or not, you can take it as 100% guaranteed that November 26, 2023 will be the CAT exam. The only exception could be that something tragic has happened on that particular day, and because of which we can't have the exam on that day. Okay, so even on the COVID year, we had the exam on the particular date. They didn't change it. Okay, so that's more or less confirmed. Now we can expect IIM Lucknow to conduct the exam, but it's not too much of a problem for you. Which college conducts the exam is not much of a relevance. You don't have to worry that much. Yeah, people say that if it is Calcutta, there'll be this kind of a paper. If it is Ahmedabad, it is that kind of a paper. Guys, all these are rumors. There's nothing confirmed. Okay, so you cannot really associate a paper to a institute, frankly, in my opinion. Yes, there'll be some 2%, 1% correlation that you can find, but otherwise hardly anything. So your preparation should not be worried or should not be based on what or who is going to set the paper for you. Many students keep asking me, sir, will it be easy? It's Lucknow. Will it be difficult? It's Lucknow. Guys, doesn't really matter. Okay, please don't go by those kind of assumptions or rumors which are out there in the internet. And of course, this has always been an online mode paper. Based on the previous year trends, it's going to be completely online, and it's always been like that since 2010, if I'm not mistaken, or 2009. It's always been an online paper. So you will be going in front of a computer. The question paper comes there. You write there. They'll give you a white sheet to do your calculations, and that's how the paper is going to be. Let's take a look at the paper pattern. What happened over the last 2 years? That is 2021 and 2022. The paper pattern was constant. Okay, so they did not change the paper pattern for the last 2 years. What is the paper pattern? 3 sections. Total time is a total of 120 minutes. So that's 2 hours. And what is the sectional time you're looking at? 40 minutes, 40 minutes, and 40 minutes. So looking at 3 40s adding up to 120, which means every section that you have has got a time limit. You can't spend more than that. You can't spend less than that also. So some students keep asking me, is it possible for me to end one section fast and save time and go to the next section? It doesn't work like that. So the paper starts with the first section. You can't change the first section that comes to you. It is always English. You can't change that. You will have 40 minutes time. You can't go to the next section before this time is over. And if you want to stop here, that also can't happen, because once 40 minutes are over, automatically the section moves from 1 to 2. And second section, 40 minutes, once that is done, you will move to section number 3. So what are these 3 sections? Section 1 is verbal ability and reading comprehension, English. Section 2 is data interpretation and logical reasoning, DILR. And section 3 is quantitative aptitude, which is your maths. These are in the particular order that I've mentioned. That does not change. Now what happens within each one of these sections? So the total number of questions are 66. The breakup of this is 24 questions are from the English section, VARC, 20 questions are from DI and LR section, and 22 questions are from the quantitative aptitude, which is QA or maths section, adding up to a total of 66. Now these 24 questions there are two types of questions. One type of question is called MCQ, that is multiple choice question. The second type of question is type in the answer, TITA. Sometimes they also call it a short answer. But short answer is a wrong word to use. It's basically type in the answer, TITA. But I'll explain what is the meaning of these two versus MCQ. MCQ everybody knows. MCQ is a very straightforward way where there'll be one question, 4 options, you have to choose the correct option. For example, if I ask you what is root 49 into 6, this is 6 sevens of 42. Right? So there'll be 3 options. I'm giving you a very simple example. There'll be option 40, 42, C 44 and D 46. Right? Now this is your answer. You'll mark this, you get out, over. But if it is a theta, type in the option, how will the question come to you? The same question comes to you like this. Root of 49 into 6 is how much? Now root of 49 is always 7. It is not plus or minus 7, because when you have a root is always positive. So many students write this, root 4 is equal to plus or minus 2. This is wrong. So when you have root 4, the answer is always plus 2. But if I give you x square equal to 4, then you will write it like this, x equal to plus or minus root 4. So this plus or minus comes when you take away the square, not when there is a root. So when you take the square out, you'll get a plus or minus. So if there is no square, directly I am asking you a root, it is always positive. Anyway, coming back to the question. So it is 7 into 6, 42. So there will be a small box here. There is no option anymore. There will be a small box here. This box, you are supposed to type 42. How will you type this 42? There will be a calculator kind of a device on the screen. It will be there. You will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, decimal, backspace. That's it. That's all there is. There is no multiplication for you in this. There is no division, nothing else. So you will just have to type 4 and type 2. That's it, over. You will also have an on-screen calculator, which is different. On-screen calculator is, there will be a calculator here. You press this, you will get a simple calculator, which is also looking like this. Which will also look like this, but it'll have your multiplication, division, all those signs. Okay, but this is basically the place where it's like a number pad. You punch the numbers, 42, and that's it. So that's basically called as theta. Now, what is the difference? Why are they asking these two kind of questions? The marking scheme for each one of these questions are different. For example, what is the marking scheme? For MCQs, correct answer is plus 3 marks. So in MCQs, if you get a correct answer, it is 3 marks. If you get a wrong answer, minus 1 mark. There is negative marking, 1/3 negative. And if you don't know the answer, you leave it, it is 0 marks. You don't get any penalty for leaving the question. But if you look at theta, correct answer will again be plus 3, that is 3 marks. But when you get a wrong answer, it is 0. If you get a wrong answer, they don't deduct marks, because there are no options. So they basically say that, look, when there are options, people can randomly guess. Therefore, I will keep a negative mark, because if you guess, you are taking the risk. So there should be a negative mark if the risk goes bad for you. You can always be lucky and get 3 marks. But again, there are 3 wrong answers, 1 correct answer. So it works out that way. Whereas if it's a theta, they will say that, look, because there are no options, there are infinite numbers present. And you are supposed to write 1 number out of the infinite. So the probability of you getting it right, unless you know the correct answer, is almost 0. So therefore they'll say if you get it wrong also, will not deduct any marks. And of course, you leave it, you will get anyway 0 marks. So this is a marking scheme. So you get totally 198 marks. You have a total of 198 marks. Last year we observed, and last 2 years in fact, the number of questions from theta and the number of questions from MCQs are in this order. 3 questions from English are theta. Now you might wonder, what will you type in the English? English theta comes only for parajumbles. Only for parajumbles, which means in parajumbles, they will give you sentence number 1, sentence number 2, sentence number 3, sentence number 4, probably sentence number 5. You are supposed to arrange these 5 sentences into the correct passage. So they will give you a box here. So you are supposed to type 5, 4, 1, 3, 2. This is your correct answer. So you'll type this and move to the next question. Only parajumbles have theta in English. Everything else is MCQ only. But in maths and LRDI, you can have, because they are calculation based, right? So if they're calculation based, you can have more number of questions like this. So 6 questions from DI and LR and 8 questions. You can see the number of questions are higher for quant. 8 questions come from theta, which means you can't randomly guess the answer. You can't substitute the answer here. You can't verify the answer. You can't eliminate the options. You will only get these 8 questions correct if you know the theory behind the questions and you are able to answer these questions correctly. So 14 questions are MCQs, where you can use all your trickeries. I mean, you can solve it directly, or you can use elimination option, you can use substitution methods, etc., etc. However, these 8, you cannot do any of those things. So your fundamentals have to be strong to be able to answer these 8 questions. And you'll have a total of 49 and 18. This is what happened last year. Last 2 years, in fact. Clear? Okay. Let's move on. So what is the paper pattern expected in 2023? In fact, we expect, and I personally am expecting identical paper pattern, but just to be on the safe side, we are giving you just a range. It could be, a total of, I expect 24, 20 and 22 only. Total to be 66. We don't expect it to change because last 2 years it is consistent. Whereas this 26, 24, 26, 76 total was in 2020. The first year of pandemic was 2020. That November, they gave 26, 24 and 26. That was 76. Then they reduced the number of questions to 24, 20 and 22. That they kept it as constant for the last 2 years. So we don't expect the number of questions to change this time. Okay. So in quant, you can expect 22 questions, 40 minutes. That is basically less than 2 minutes per question. Okay. Keep that in mind. Of course, we don't expect any change in the number of marks. We expect it to be exactly the same. Okay, 3 marks minus 1 mark for theta, 3 marks and 0 marks for 3 marks and minus 1 marks for MCQ, and 3 marks and 0 marks for theta. So that I don't think is going to change at all. Okay. Now CAT score versus percentile. Let's take a look at what scores you need overall. This is overall, okay, not just for quant. This is overall, and what percentiles do you get? Let's take a look at last 2 years, where the total number of marks were 198 and the total number of questions were 66. 66 questions, 198 maximum marks. In that, if you are looking at 80 percentile, 2021, you needed 15 questions correct. 15 threes are 45. No negative marks, which means all 15 you attempt perfectly 100% correct, you will get this. Last year, the paper was slightly more difficult, slightly difficult. So the number of marks for the same percentile reduced. So 35.5, basically around 36 marks. You're talking about 12 questions only. 12 questions correct will give you 36. 15 questions correct will give you 45 marks in the 2021 paper. 2020 paper, it's 12 questions. If you move to 90 percentile, you need around 48, which is 16 questions correct. And here around 20 questions correct. Overall, out of 66, 20 correct in 2021 and 16 correct in 2022, because the 2022 paper was slightly more difficult over the previous year. 95 percentile, this is where the good colleges will start coming to you. 90, you will get okay colleges, decent colleges, 90 to 95, but once you start crossing the 95, that's the sweet spot. You'll start getting a lot of good colleges. Now, all these colleges which are in the 20 ranks, 20 to 30 will start giving you calls. 18, 20, 21, 25, 30, up to 30 around, you'll be getting the calls in the range of 95. So what colleges are these? Again, depending upon how high you go, 98, 99 percentile, you're touching 98 and above, you can start getting calls from the top 10 also, depending upon your background. But again, what is it you need? You need 20 questions in the last year, and you needed about 72. That's about 3 2s are 6, 3 4s are 12. So about 24 questions here. And if you're looking at 99, so this is where you'll be called as a topper. You can start calling yourself as a topper in the topper category, top 1%. So this is around 83, 82, or 81. You can say that's 81 by 3 is 27 questions. And 97 is 99, you can take 96, so 32 questions. So you can see half of them, right, guys, half of them, 66 total, half is 33. You can see in both these years, less than half questions are required for you to get a 99 percentile. Again, of course, assuming that you are getting all of them correct, but that doesn't really happen. So if you get 32 corrects, you'll get some mistakes also, right? So realistically speaking, I would say if you want to be in this range, your attempts somewhere should be in the range of 42 to 45. 42 to 45, you will make around 10 to 11 mistakes. So you will end up getting around 32 to 34 corrects and 10 to 11 mistakes. So this will add up to the score that you want. So while I am saying only corrects will be half, realistically speaking, because nobody is 100% accurate that way, because English is, you have English, a lot of, things can go wrong in English. I expect you to get 42 to 45 attempts with 10 to 9, 10, 11 marks, 9, 10, 11 questions wrong. That is what you need to aim for if you are going for a top 1 percentile or top 1% of the people who are writing the exam. Once you start touching this 99, then you can start getting calls from, let's say I'm Indore, I'm Kozhikode, even Lucknow, depending upon what kind of a background you are from. Even Bangalore, I am Bangalore, depending upon the background and depending upon your ACADS, you can start getting calls. Ahmedabad also will give you a call if you are from certain backgrounds. But again, engineers, if you're listening to me, unfortunately at 99, none of ABC or LK will give you a call. But yeah, if you are from commerce, arts, all of these non-main engineering stream, law, if you are from medicine or pharma, all of you guys will be getting a lot of good calls at a 99 percentile and above from the top colleges. You can get an FMS call, you can get ABC, ILK, all of these calls, depending upon whether you're an engineer or not. And then of course you are getting into the ultra top values, ultra top range. So 99.9 was 110 marks. 110 is about 3 and 39 questions over here, and 120 is 40 questions over here. Oh, sorry. This is 3 3s and 9, 10, 11, 2, 0, 3, 6, 18. So 36 questions and 40 questions, correct. This is basically what you are supposed to look at if you are trying to get into any of these levels. So my advice to you is start targeting a 95 percentile and keep this. So this is the month of April already, right? So April, May, June, this should be your target. Try to reach a 95 percentile, or you can also be here, anywhere June. So I will say May, June. May to June, this is your target. June to July, this will be your target. Okay. Moving from 95 to 99 will not be that easy. So getting up to 95, guys, is going to be easy. A lot of students can get up to 95, but moving from 95 to 99 will not be easy. That is where the real challenge lies. Because now remember, think of it like this. You have a queue, you have a line of people. Here it's very, very crowded. And here it is light. Think of it like this. So you are coming from behind, you can easily go up to this without too much of a problem. You can just, push, nudge and go across. But here, people are densely packed. What do I mean by densely packed? People, the smart guys are all at the top. They don't give you space easily to go forward. So you have to put in a lot of effort. So this is your 95 barrier. Once you start touching this 95, to move from 95 to 99, that 5-4 percentile is not going to be very easy. That's what I'm trying to explain, because all the toppers will be in that place. So you have to start beating the toppers to go ahead of them. All these guys are the easy guys. People who are not serious, semi-serious, they started late, serious but started late, or they're serious but they're not having the ability. All those guys will be at the lower levels. You can easily bypass them, you can easily cross them. But this is where the real challenge lies. So I would say 99 you can start targeting in the month of August, September, probably September to October. September, October, if you touch 99, that's good. After that, there is no such target. It all depends upon, once you start getting 99, whether you'll get a 99.5 or a 99.9, there's no point in targeting that, because that will keep varying from exam to exam. It keeps varying from mock to mock. Sometimes a mock comes where your quant, which is your favorite subject, is easy, you will shoot up because you will answer a lot of questions in quant, and your overall score will go up, and therefore you're going to become a 99.5 percentile. Let's say you get quant tough and your verbal, which is your weak area, is also tough. So then you will still score some marks in quant, but your verbal will be going for a toss because that's your weak area. A difficult part in your weak area is horrible. Never pray for a difficult part in your weak area. If you want to pray for something, pray for difficult section in your strong area. Because difficult section, strong area means you will still be doing better than a lot of others. Therefore, you will be going ahead in the race. Because they will not be able to solve like you, because you are better than them. Yes, your score will be low, but still you will be getting much better marks than the others. Because at the end of the day, it is relative, correct? It's a relative score. Let's move on. Let's take a look at what happened in quant. How many questions have come from the 5 areas? So first of all, I hope you understand, maths has totally 5 areas. What are they? Arithmetic, algebra, geometry and mensuration, number system and modern math. These are the 5 areas that you're talking about in quant. Once again, arithmetic, algebra, geometry, number theory and modern math. Now, arithmetic, all of you know, percentages, profit and loss, the basic idea. I'll get to that in the next slide. Algebra also you guys mostly know. Geometry you know. Number systems also you should be knowing. It's your HCF, LCM, factors and so on and so forth. And modern math, if you are not aware of it, modern math includes your PNC, probability, it includes your Venn diagram and it includes your set theory. These are topics that come under your modern math. So let's take a look at which of these topics have a higher weightage. So we did this analysis for the last 4-5 years and you can consistently see always arithmetic has got the highest number of questions. Arithmetic has got the highest number of questions. So if you notice, this total was 26, this total was 22, this total was 22. Here the total was 34. The total number of questions in 2019 were 34. It was a 3-hour paper. So 1 hour for quant. Here this is 40 minutes for quant, total was 2 hours paper. Here also 2 hours paper, total was 40 minutes for quant. 2 hours, 40 minutes. So in 40 minutes, 22 questions. Out of these 22 questions, you can expect anywhere between 9 to 10. That is just less than half. So guys, you can guaranteed say arithmetic, your expectation should be 10 questions, which is approximately 45 to 50% of the paper. Just less than 50. So almost half the paper will be arithmetic. That's how important it is. The next is your algebra. So how many questions have come technically in algebra over the last few years? You can see it can vary again, but it's not as high as arithmetic. It is high, the second highest. So you can see you can expect somewhere around 6 to 7 questions. Okay, so that's out of 22, right? 6 4s are 24. So that's around 22%. You can expect around 22% of the paper coming from your algebra. Again, not an easy, sorry, this is not 22, this is more than 20, oh my bad. 6 4s are 24, right? Yeah, so this is almost 30%. 27 to 30%, something like that. So again, quite high. So in my opinion, if you prepare these two perfectly well, if you prepare these two and leave out everything else, let's say you leave out everything else, only these two, you can expect 16 to 17 questions that you can attempt. Out of these 16 to 17 attempts, let's say you get 2 wrongs or 3 wrongs and 13 corrects. In quant, 3 wrongs, 13 corrects is very much possible. Very much possible. So this will be 39 marks minus 3, you'll get a 36 score. Let's take a look at where is 36 for you. I think it will be somewhere over here. Yes. 36 is more than 99 percentile in quant. We'll come back to this slide, but please understand, just these 2 topics can push you above 99 percentile. Okay, so my strategy for you is the next 7 months anyway, I'm going to talk about it, but focus on these 2 first. Make sure that you're perfect in these 2. Only if you perfected these 2, then you can go to the other topics. I would say worst case, 7 months you want to spend on these 2 topics, go ahead. That's perfect. That is better than leaving out one of these 2 and saying that I'm going to prepare something else. Guys, it's foolish in my opinion if you are leaving out these two and preparing a third topic. Your strategy should be to perfect these two. Only if time permits, go to the other three. And of course, the other three are your geometry mensurations, number theory, and modern math. In fact, you'll want to leave modern math. I'd say go ahead and leave it. PNC you don't like, you don't understand, probability you don't understand, Venn diagrams you don't understand, I'd say go ahead and leave it. However, Venn diagrams for a different reason I would say please learn, simply because Venn diagrams comes quite a bit in your DILR. So you will be getting a set, or you can get a set from DILR, in DILR from Venn diagrams topic. So because of that I would say please go ahead and prepare DILR Venn diagrams. Otherwise PNC probability I would say if you don't like it, please leave it, don't worry. Okay, but what is arithmetic? What is algebra? What are the topics within this also that you have to prepare? Let's take a look at that. Arithmetic has all these topics. The two most important within arithmetic are time and distance, time and work. You can see that over the last 5 years, we have aggregated total number of questions that have come. So we have 22, 22, then 26, then 30, last 4 years I believe. So we have 34. So 60, 14, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think about 104 questions totally. Okay, 104 and one more 34. So 138. So we have last 5 years. 5 years total 138 questions have come. We calculated that 85 questions out of this 135 have come from arithmetic total. This again here if you see it is more than half, you will be feeling but actually what happens is this is this is the best case scenario depending upon the papers. As you can see here, we gave 7 to 10. So there is a paper where 9 questions also have come. There's a paper where 10 questions have also come. So we have taken the best case scenario, but typically you can say out of 138, somewhere around 60 questions come from arithmetic. Now, what are the most important topics in arithmetic? Time and distance, time and work, profit and loss, averages. As you can see, these are the questions in terms of the decreasing order of frequency. Mixtures and allegations, ratios, SSEI, percentages. The problem here is, unlike your arithmetic and algebra, I cannot say here that look, leave this, prepare this. I cannot say that. Why? Because your ratios is linked to time and distance. Your ratios is linked to time and work. While ratios itself is not that important because the number of questions every year, if you look at the average, is not that high. But the concept is completely be used in time and distance, time and work. Similarly, if you don't like percentages, that's great. But percentages is going to come back to you in profit and loss. It can come back to you in time and work. It can come back to you in time and distance. So the bottom line, my friends, is as far as arithmetic is concerned, I would say prepare the entirety of this topic. Don't be lazy, at least for arithmetic. All subtopics in arithmetic are important. You cannot leave any of these because all of them are equally important in my opinion. While you say strictly SICI, only 8 questions have come in 5 years. 5 years, 8 questions only have come. What does it mean? It means it's only 1 question approximately per paper, 1.5 question per paper. So why should I prepare, you might ask? The reason is very simple. SSEI depends on percentages. If you understand percentages, you'll get SSEI better. If you understand percentages, you'll get time and distance, time and work better. So they are all interconnected. Okay. Now let's look at algebra. Now, thankfully, algebra is not like this. You can leave certain topics away from algebra, and I'll tell you which topics you can leave. Now, algebra is made up of all these topics and some others also, which I'm not mentioning here. But I'll tell you which topics of these are most important. As you can see, quadratic equations, series and sequences, progressions, logarithms, functions, linear equations. Till here, I would say till here these are enough. You have other topics, modulus, graphs, then you have inequalities, anyway it's mentioned here, special equations, algebraic identities, polynomials, which is higher order equations. There are a lot of other topics which are coming, maxima, minima. All these you can leave. All these you can leave. There are 5 topics for you. What are they? Quadratic equations, progressions, logarithms, functions, and simple or linear equations. That's all. 2 variable, 3 variable, linear equations and simple equations. These 5 if you prepare in algebra, I would say your 80% of algebra itself is covered. Which means out of the 6 to 7 questions you can expect in algebra, you will be in a position to answer 4 to 5. You will be in a position to answer 4 to 5 questions. Yes, you will be leaving out 1 or 2 questions, that's okay. But because for those 1 or 2 questions, you have to learn all of these. For 2 questions, you're going to learn some 9 topics. Whereas for the remaining 4 to 5 questions, 5 topics are enough. So if you want to do smart work, prepare entirety of arithmetic and these 5 topics in algebra. If time permits, go for the remaining topics in algebra. Or you can also go for geometry. If let's say you finish these 5, I would actually say these 5 you finish, then go to geometry if time permits. Okay, because you will get some more questions from, because see, all these topics will give you only 2 questions, whereas geometry itself will give you on an average. So what did we see here? Yes, you can see 3 to 4 questions, 3 to 5 questions from geometry. So every year 3 questions are guaranteed, more or less, every paper. So out of 22 questions, 3 questions you are going to get from geometry. That's better to prepare. So what comes under geometry again? You have areas and volumes, triangles, circles, coordinate geometry, polygons, quadrilaterals, lines and angles. So I think you will have to prepare all of these. Unfortunately, you cannot leave too many of them. Lines and angles is something what you prepare, because without understanding lines and angles, you cannot solve anything else. So this is the absolute basic. That's why you can see there are 0 questions directly from it, because these are anyway used everywhere else. Then you have polygons, you have some questions coming, areas and volume. You can see it keeps varying. There's nothing that I can say. Triangles, of course, is the most important, and polygons are important. But again, there could be triangles with circles, polygons with triangles, polygons with circles, circles with quadrilaterals, anything like that. So that's the problem. Geometry, you have to prepare all of these in sync. Then of course number theory, again you can choose to leave if time does not permit, otherwise you can go ahead and prepare. And modern math, as I said, set theory, probability, permutation, combination, Venn diagrams. P and C, if you have time, but again 8 questions have come in the last 5 years. That way it is less in terms of importance compared to geometry. Geometry, 31 questions have come in the last 5 years. So that way this is 1/4 as important as your geometry. So after geometry, if you still have time, you can go for permutation, combination, modern math, otherwise you can leave that. So this is my advice to you as far as quant is concerned. So this is what I said, the breakup. I could say 40% of the topic will be from quadratic and linear equations, logarithms, sequence and series. Arithmetic and algebra, as I said, makes up 70% of the quantitative ability topic. And so these, if I add, will be about 40%. Only these 3 topics, time and work, averages, percentages, will be about 30%. If I look at only the top 3 topics. So the thing is, in arithmetic, because you're adding more topics like percentages, profit and loss, all of them, this 30% will start increasing. But if you look at the top 3 topics or the top 1 or 2 topics, these 3 are the most important. These 3 are the most important here, P and C here, and polygons and triangles. That's all. Okay, so I would say this is your first preference, all, not just these 3, I'll say all. Then this is your second preference. Then probably this should be your third and fourth, depending upon whether you like diagrams, which is geometry, or you like P and C, which is logic. Right? Let's move on. So as I said, the percentile scores, last year 11 marks, 12 marks approximately, that's 4 questions correct, will give you this 80 percentile. 95 will be about 8 questions correct, and 99 will be around 11 to 12 questions correct. But again, 11 to 12 questions all correct, you can't get it that way. So let's say you attempt 15 questions. Okay, you attempt 15, out of which you get 12 corrects, 3 wrongs, or 11 correct, 4 wrongs. 11 correct, 4 wrongs will go less than 99. 12 corrects, 3 wrongs will be exactly 33. So you'll be just around 99 percentile. And that's what your target should be in quant. So how do you achieve this target now? What is your plan? What is it that you're going to do for the next 7 months? As I said, your first plan should be understanding fundamentals, but again, understanding fundamentals of which topics that I already mentioned. Topic number 1, entire arithmetic. Topic number 2, algebra. That's it. Only these 2. Perfect these 2 topics without fail over the next whatever time it takes. Ideally, I would say keep a target of 3 months or so, probably April, May, June, and even half of July. But perfect these topics. Then you will have to start looking at practice questions. Now, you start solving easy and moderate. You can leave the hard questions for later. Easy and moderate are enough for these 2 topics. And as I said, different difficulty levels, but most importantly, look at all last, I can say 10 years papers. I would say go to last 10 years question papers and start solving everything from these two areas. This should be your target for the next 3 months to 3.5 months. If you're fast, you can finish this in 2 months. If you're slow, you will probably take 3 to 3.5 months. But this should be your target. Only once this is done, you should move to your next topic, which is probably your geometry or permutation combination, depending upon your interest, or number theory for that matter. But again, don't waste your time on difficult. Easy, moderate is enough for you in any of these topics. Difficult will only be, you will be spending time on difficult questions only if you have finished 2 or 3 topics. So these are 2 topics. Let's say you finish a 3rd topic also. Now the question is, should I do difficult questions or should I do a new topic? So you can do as a revision some difficult questions, some moderate questions later on. But first make sure that you finish 3 topics. 3rd could be any of the other remaining 3. But please don't start difficult questions before that. So you can start, and this all last 10 years papers start from the month of August. Start solving last 10 years question papers, especially in these. So by then, arithmetic algebra, start solving from the month of August. Simultaneously prepare for this 3rd topic. August, September and some part of October, 3rd topic or 4th topic will finish. Last 1 month, only revision, nothing else, only revision. Now, most important part, don't leave your mocks. Many students do this mistake of not writing the mock, saying that, sir, I just started this. Why should I write a mock right now? I just started my arithmetic, I don't know anything about arithmetic. If I write my mock, I'll get 0. Doesn't matter. Friends, please understand, you are writing a mock not to be happy with that 20 marks or 15 marks you're going to get. It's for you to first learn how to sit for 2 hours without getting distracted, without thinking about some songs or without thinking about something else which is going on in your life. The most important part for this mock is to make you practice the handling of pressure, the countdown timer. When you see the timer going down and you have to solve questions within that time, that's pressure. You have to get used to it. Second, to get the ability to focus, concentrate. It is not going to be done overnight. You cannot do this overnight. You cannot do this in 1 month or 2 months also. It will take time. So please start writing the mocks from the very first mock that you get. In fact, we will be releasing the mock, BYJU'S Exam Prep, we are releasing our mocks this coming weekend. So 6th of April, I believe, is the first mock going live. So if you have not already subscribed or rather not already enrolled into our program, at least take the test series, start off with it. Okay, let's do some actual CAT 2021 questions, guys. So here's the first question coming your way. So we have an alloy. Please read this. I'll give you about a minute to read this and come to an answer. Let's see if you can do this. Alright, so let's see what is happening here. We have 2 alloys. One is pure, so alloy 1 and pure silver. So alloy 1, we don't know what is the percentage of silver. Pure silver, it is 100%, correct? So alloy 1, let's say the percentage is X%. Right, now what is happening? 3 kgs of this and some kgs of this, A kgs. I don't know how many kgs. I'll take it as A kgs. You are mixing them to get 90% of the resultant. So now I will use my allegations and I'll say this is 90 minus X and this is 100 minus 90, which is 10. So the ratio in which they should be mixed is 10 by 90 minus X. And this ratio is the weight ratio, A by 3. Or I'll get 30 by 90 minus X equal to A. Now what is he doing? Same weight of the initial alloy, again A1, I'm taking A1. And this time mixed with 2 kgs of another alloy, A2. A2 is 90% silver. This is again X% silver. I don't know what is the percentage, but I'm getting 84. And this is 2 kgs. Same weight, this is X kgs. A kgs. So my allegation rule says 90 minus 84 is 6. This is 84 minus X. So the ratio in which they should be mixed is 6 by 84 minus X, which is A by 2. Okay, or 12 by 84 minus x is a, but a is already here, so this is 30 by 90 minus x. So 6 2s are 6 5s are, so this gives you 180 minus 2x is equal to 420 minus 5x, or 3x equal to 240, or x equal to 80. So if x is 80, you can find it from this equation. What is a? So this is 30 by 90 minus 80, 10 equal to a, which is 3 kgs. That's your answer. So this is a pure allegation, mixtures and allegation question that has come in one of the previous years of CAT. Actually, this came in 2021 CAT. Okay, let's take a look at another question. This is a typical theta question. This came in CAT and this also came in most recent MAHCT. I said in MAHCT a lot of questions were copied from previous year's question papers. One of these questions was from CAT paper. So let's take a look at this question. A 4-digit number is formed by using only the digits 1, 2 and 3 such that 2 and 3 appear at least once. So I have to form 1, 2, 3, 4 using only 1, 2, 3 such that 2 and 3 appears at least once. So if I look at 4 numbers, 2 and 3 should be there. What are the other 2 numbers? So let me take a look at it. The other 2 numbers both can be ones, right? Both can be ones. Or I can say 2 is repeated, 3 is once, 1 is 1. I can say 2 is repeated more than 3 times, or exactly 3 times, and 3 is there. I can say 3 is repeated, or 3 is repeated like this, same process, and 2. And I can also say 3 is repeated twice. There is 2 and there is 1. Is there anything else? So 1 is repeated, 2 is repeated, 3 is repeated. Yes, everything repetitions are taken care of. Please remember, 1 cannot come 3 times because both 2 and 3 have to be there. So if 2 and 3 are already there, you have only 2 spaces. So 1 can at most comes 2 times. So now in this case, how many ways the numbers can be formed? So this is 4 factorial by 2 factorial. If you know the basics of PNC, this will be very straightforward. This is again 4 factorial by 2 factorial. This is 4 factorial by 3 factorial. This is again 4 factorial by 3 factorial. This is 4 factorial by 2 factorial. So this has come 3 times. So there is 4 factorial by 2 factorial into 3. Plus this has come 2 times. 4 factorial by 3 factorial into 2. So this is how much? 4 into 3 plus 4 into 2. So 4 3s are 12, 12 3s are 48 plus 4 3s are 12. 12 3s are 36, sorry. 36 plus 12, 48. And that is your answer. Clear? Let's move on to the last question, guys. A shop owner bought a total of 64 shirts from a wholesale market that came in 2 sizes, small and large. So you have small and large. The price of a small shirt was rupees 50 less than that of a large shirt. So large, if I take X price, then small shirt is X minus 50. And total number of shirts, if I say the total number of shirts are L and S, so L plus S should be equal to 64. She paid a total of 5,000 for the large shirt. So X into L is 5,000 and 1,800 for the small shirts. So S into X minus 50 is 1,800. Now please remember, L plus S total should be equal to 64. Total should be equal to 64. So I can also write, then the price of large shirt and small shirt. So you're talking about X and X minus 50. That is the question. Price of a large and small shirt together. So basically they're saying X plus X minus 50. Because remember, the price of large is X, then the price of small is X minus 50. So we can do it in 2 ways. One is you can start looking at solving these equations. Second is go by the options. So the total here is 2X minus 50. If you say this is 225, that means X should be equal to 275 by 2. X is in fractions, nothing wrong, you can have it in fractions. But if you want to eliminate options, the best way to eliminate is eliminate those values which are easy to eliminate. So let me start with 150. So 2X minus 50 is 150, or X equal to 100. If X is 100, let's see what is L. L will be 50. If X is 100, so S into 50 is 1800. So this will become 5 3s are 15, 6 7 8, 5 6 are 30. And you can see L plus S, 50 plus 36 is 86, not 64. So this is wrong. Similarly, if you take this
2x minus 50 is 200. You'll get x equal to 250 by 2, which is 125. Now if L is 125, so x is 125, then L will be 5000 by 125. So 25 goes 200, 25 goes 5 times, 5 goes 40 times. L is 40. Then you can see if x is 125, so S into 125 minus 50, which is 75, is 1800, or S is 25 goes 3 times, 25, or 3 goes 25 times, 3 goes 600 times, 25 goes 2s are 50, 4s are 24, so S is 24. And now you can see 40 plus 24 adds up to 64. So straight away you'll get answer as 200. This is the fastest way to do elimination of options or substitution method, whatever you call it. And you don't have to waste your time on 225 because it may be the answer, but it is easier for me to eliminate these. If I eliminate these three things, then automatically A will be the correct answer. But checking for 225 and looking at this is how much 137.5 will be difficult to calculate. So difficult calculations I'll leave it to the end. I'll take the easier ones. If I'm lucky, one of those will be answers. Otherwise also easier ones are easy to eliminate. So the difficult one I'll get the answer without calculating. So that's the logic. Right, so my friends, this is how the questions do come to you. I hope you understood what topics to prepare, what to do for the next 7 months. I wish you all the very best in your preparation. Please stay tuned onto our channel. We are going to come to you with a lot of these sessions going forward. We will make sure that your preparation is in sync with what we expect the students to have. So please be with us. All the very best. See you soon in my next one.